How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another episode of muskie fishing. Spencer and I just got back from Lake of the Woods yesterday, our 4-day trip there. We went walleye fishing last night. Didn't catch a walleye, but we caught one of these.
We're out here walleye trolling, and look what we just caught. I don't know if you can see that or not.
It's a muskie.
It's a big muskie.
Buddy's got the walleye crankbait right in his snout.
Right in the side of the snout. I told Chris, I said, Chris, we're either going to catch a big walleye tonight, or we're going to catch a muskie.
Second that fish bit, you thought you were snagged, didn't you?
No, I thought I had the bottom, and then it started head shaking. Look at him how he chewed it, right in the corner of the mouth. Absolutely perfect spot to catch him. Ooh.
This is the calmest muskie catch I think I'll ever experience in my life. This guy is chilling. He's cooperating. Look at him, he's just sitting there.
All right, I'm gonna go for the hero net. Ready? Actually,
look at that. You could. I feel like I could hug this fish.
Shine me a light
sitting
here.
There. I got. Oh my God. That fish didn't move.
Okay. Got him in the net.
Okay. So. Nope. No. Don't you love when muskies popcorn? Still pretty decent fish. That's
45 3/4.
Oh, she's sniffing 46.
46 incher.
Perfect. She did a little something on my sleeves there. Spencer, you know what that could be?
What?
She wasn't very happy with me. So go figure, we trolled Lake of the Woods for 4 days straight with 10, 12, and 14-inch crankbaits, and then we catch a pretty big muskie on a 4-inch walleye crankbait. So that's just the way she goes. But today, Spencer and I are doing something very different. In the fall, this is pretty common to fish for really big muskies in the fall, and they know winter's coming. They want as big of a meal as possible. So I don't know if it's popular or not, but it's definitely a thing of guys. How popular is it? Is it pretty popular?
I think it's pretty popular. I've never done it. It's kind of, I don't want to say it's like looked down upon by muskie guys, but a lot of guys don't agree with it.
Yeah.
But it's really popular in Wisconsin. Yeah,
it's live bait drifting giant suckers over like weed beds, points. Anywhere where muskies live, you drift like a 14 to even like 22-inch sucker. Just absolute giant minnows for these muskies. And once they hit it, they bring the bobber down. You got to wait a little bit. So this is how we're rigging it.
This is something new to myself and Chris. And we made the mistake of buying something called a lift-off rig. I have no idea how the rubber band is supposed to go through the nasal passage like they said. We tried it on one sucker and almost killed it. So what we did was we took a little treble hook that basically is going to do the same thing and just kind of hook it in the snout. This one's going to go on the side. This one's going to go kind of towards the back. And the sucker's just going to kind of swim freely. I'm going to take this one here. And I'm just going to hook it right in the snout. And then this one, I'm just going to kind of wrap around to the back. Same thing again. Now, what you have in the water is a free sucker. See how both of those cables are kind of like on his back? That way he can swim as freely as he wants, at least I think. I couldn't figure out the rubber band going through the nose passage part. I don't.
This right here. This
it didn't make any
directions.
Sense. All I'm going to do now is just attach a bobber and
we're in business.
Sling her out there.
So that's the deal. We're in some small lake in central Minnesota here. We're just going to drift these suckers around and hope a muskie eventually hits it. I'm going to put an underwater camera on one of these too, so that's going to be interesting to see how that works. Hopefully I can capture some good footage. This is pretty clear water, but I've heard suckers can be pretty unfair for muskies, and seeing as though we didn't have much luck at Lake of the Woods, I'm excited to try to throw some big live meat at them. All right, so we're about 2 hours into the day, no bites yet, but what's really intriguing me is that with this type of sucker fishing, you're gonna have a lot of follows. And like I told you guys earlier, I have an underwater camera down like attached to the top of the bobber pointing down. Oh, look at this chivalry, look at that, look at that. So,
make you even uglier, bud.
No, what's uglier is this haircut, look at this. Enough of the haircut thing, we're fishing. But I've got an underwater camera attached to the bottom of that bobber, so I'm really excited at the end of the day to watch the footage. Even if we don't catch one, it'll be interesting to see how many fish come up and check out the sucker. But these are how big of suckers we're using. I got the tape measure down. I'm going to show you guys how long these are.
Bud's got the tape measure, not the bump board. It's a tape measure.
Well, yeah, it's a tape measure. Do you not know what a tape measure is? It fits in your pocket.
Which pocket are you putting that in?
Don't worry about it. So here's the size of the bait we're both using. I think I might even have a bigger one, of course. This is a very small end of the sucker for what people usually use for muskie fishing. That's a 14-inch sucker. People use them up to 22 inches for this type of fishing. So muskies have a big appetite. The last 4 or 5 days has been very different muskie fishing from what I'm used to. I've only been 5 times before this, but it had all been casting, and now we did 4 days of trolling, and now sucker fishing. It's much more chill. Much more chill. Do you like it?
Oh, it's very relaxing.
It's very chill.
We really have no idea what we're doing, but we do know what we're doing because of my friend John Hoyer, who hooked us up. We'll leave his description in the bio below.
His description in the bio?
Or whatever you frickin' YouTubers call it. John's the man, so we'd like to thank you, John, for the help, the wisdom, the advice.
Thank you, John. The wisdom, advice, and encouragement.
The walleye baits last night.
Yeah. He's been a big help. We need to catch one. Nuh-uh.
I saw. Oh.
Get away from the bait. What do we do?
Get that thing in. I saw him right on my bait just now.
Is that a loon?
Yes, he's gonna eat that sucker 100%.
Grab it.
He's gonna eat that sucker. Oh, did he just hit it?
We're momentarily safe from the loons. We'll check in when an actual fish bites it.
He went that way.
Oh, he's got it. Spencer, what's going on here?
We are hooked up. Maybe, I don't know. We had a rip. We just got done telling Lee, who's on the phone, we don't have any fish. We don't got anything going on.
Dude, that bobber's moving. That bobber's moving.
Going down, Skeeter.
Lee, how long should we let him take it?
We gotta set up on him. Get him going away from you.
Yeah, we gotta go towards him.
Oh, we gotta go towards him? All right, so a muskie, we're pretty sure has one of the suckers in his teeth right now. He's been dragging this bobber around. You gotta let him eat it for at least a minute. You get vertical to him and then just jack him. Luckily for me, this was the rod that had the underwater camera, so we'll be able to see what the hell happened down there. Did he drop it? That's not cool. It's not moving anymore. We had just talked to Lee. He's close to us on another lake, and they caught one this morning, but we were saying we hadn't had any action, and then this bobber just started ripping. There's nothing there? Well, I'm pretty positive we 100% had a fish on there, and he dropped the sucker, it looked like. I don't know how they can drop that damn thing. There's 3 big treble hooks on it. The thing is, we're in very deep water, so there's no weeds. The only thing hitting that bobber, taking out drag, is going to be a fish. So no fish there. That was at least a little bit of action.
Well, we'll tell though, dude.
We already knew that whenever we get a bite, we'll know. I mean, we're in 21 foot of water. Yeah, we're deep. We're in 20 foot of water. That was a muskie, but of course he dropped it. Got the camera. I'm excited to see that footage. Hey! We've been watching this loon, and he's almost attacked our suckers so many times. Attacked. I know English, I swear. He's almost attacked our suckers so many times. Because we're standing up, this is really clear water, and all of a sudden we just see like a white torpedo just go zoom right past the suckers. He is definitely scheming and wants some food. I believe we're gonna catch a muskie.
I got a freaking muskie!
Another day of muskie fishing. There goes the sun. Bye, sun.
Hey, put this on my story.
Bye. I can't believe we did not catch one on these live suckers, because apparently when the bite's on these things, they're the deal and you can catch a bunch. Lee used to have a TV show called Big Fish 365 with Eric Hadia, and there was an episode where they caught 3 muskies at one time on these live suckers. They just weren't eating them today. We got that one hit, so I'm really, really excited to go watch that footage later. The sun's setting now. I don't know if we're gonna get another bite, but we don't have much time. Bella! Bella, I'm home! Bella! I'm home! Bear Gills! Bear Gills, I'm home! Nope, no worms yet. I'll feed you a little later. Alright guys, as you can see, I'm home now in Chicago. It is now the following day after we went sucker fishing. I just got a chance to look at the footage that I've been dying to see all day. Honestly, not as much interesting stuff happened as I was hoping for, but there were 2 really cool clips that I saw. I'm not going to make you guys wait any longer. Here's the 2 clips. So the first clip is what me and Spencer were fearing all day. That was that damn loon that was attacking our bait. I didn't know he actually hit the sucker, but he did actually nip the sucker minnow right there. And then that second one was a big muskie. I don't know if that was quite 50 inches. It's really hard to tell, but that was a very, very big fish. But that camera I bought, I didn't really fully understand it. It's a very basic underwater camera, and it only records for 2 hours at a time. There's no way to stop the recordings. You just hit on and it starts recording. After 2 hours, it's done. So I'm not sure if muskie actually hit our bait or not. I didn't get any footage of it. It really killed me. It really did, because that's the only reason I put a camera down there was to capture when a muskie would hit the sucker. And I mean, our bobber was going nuts twice. I'm almost positive that a fish hit our bobber twice, but it just didn't get captured on the underwater camera. So that's a huge letdown for me. I mean, I at least did capture one muskie sniffing the sucker, so the camera wasn't a total loss. But I mean, those suckers, we bought 5 of them. They were $15 each. Those things were expensive, so we spent $75 in suckers and bait for the day just to not catch a fish. That kind of sucked. But I'm back home now. It's like sunny. It's 45 degrees. It feels so warm after being in Lake of the Woods and up in Minnesota for so long. I've been away from home for like 5 or 6 weeks, so it's really nice to be home. I want to give Spencer an extra thank you because, I mean, it just happened that we went on 2 trips in the last month, and we also fished before and after them on both trips. So me and Spencer have been fishing for like 3 of the last 4 weeks. We went on 2 big trips. They're both very successful, so an extra thank you to Spencer for dragging me along and dealing with me on those trips. But I'm home now, and regular videos are going to continue. That big giant fish tank, I haven't forgotten about it. I still got that thing. I'm about to film a video right now on that, bear gills, and just my life in general. So thank you guys for watching this video. Be on the lookout for the next one.